That song is smooth as butter, isn't it?
I love it.
Joining us tonight on Dead Air Radio number 6 is poet, comedian, author, and a man who sometimes thinks or may not think, Mr. Aaron Cup Rodriguez.
Hello, potential people. Good to not see you, but I think you're hearing me, so cheers.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. We've actually been talking about having you on here for a couple weeks now, so this is a treat.
That's great. I've been thinking about coming on here for a couple of weeks now.
I bet you have, but I bet you haven't, because honestly, you haven't really been talking to any of us really that much at all. So, what's up, man?
Well, I've been storing up all the talk for tonight, so I'm ready to let it out.
Good. I know how that goes. Sometimes I myself get a little backed up on things like my bowel movements. My loads. A hot stream of love butter. And that's it for that one. Also joining us tonight, as usual, is my glimmering ray of hope in this black, bleak world.
Ooh.
A man who, in a economy recession, has managed to give me a surplus of love.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
Ben Bourgeois, my guy. He's my man. What?
Hello, everyone.
That one hurt, man. You might want to check the levels on that. And speaking of levels, we have Mr. Levels himself, the man who produces, records, organizes, created the website for our little broadcast. Is that up? Is that live? Is that ready to go?
It's not.
It's not ready to go. We will have more on that in the coming weeks. However, I got a sneak peek of it, and let me tell you, it's looking good.
It looks great. I saw it yesterday.
It's
It looks like shit, let's be honest, but it works.
Oh wow! Listen to
it
Bart.
looks great.
He's just begging for compliments, fishing for compliments.
I'm serious. It's kind of ugly.
Well, anyway, it's nice. Have you seen the site? Have you logged on to the site at all?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Multiple times in one session.
All right. Well, I hate when I laugh into the microphone and it's like, kind of sounds. I'm not gonna go there tonight. I'm gonna save the potty humor for another night. I'm trying to be more mature.
I think everyone could fill in exactly where you were going with.
I don't think you could have. It's a joke that I use a lot, but I don't know if it's one that I use that much. When I fart, it's like that joke. Wide open mouth, as wide as I can open my mouth. Anyway,
Hell of a joke.
I wonder if I could actually make anyone laugh like on stage, or if I would. Just totally bomb.
I think you could, man. I've heard that one bit that you had written out a couple months ago was really funny.
Yes.
I think if you did that, you would get laughs.
I've been writing stuff in my my cell phone notepad. I don't know. You guys ever write stuff? Cup. I know Cup. I'm gonna refer to him as Cup. That's how we all refer to him. Do you use your cell phone notepad at all to kind of jot down ideas you have that come to you? Do you keep a journal or like an ideas book?
Well, I don't know if I can.
Oh, man, can we just save the calls for after the guest speaks?
Yeah. Wow. They're ready to respond. I even haven't said
can we
that
drop
much.
that?
Are we doing this?
We can drop that. Viewers at home, we will have a segment for call-ins later on in the show. Right now, I would like to reintroduce Mr. Aaron Rodriguez. If you're just joining in, I just asked Aaron if he keeps a book of ideas or some kind of journal of things you think about.
Well, no book of ideas, but lots of places for words. I find that they can really go anywhere. It's funny. I heard someone say no one ever wrote anything important just with their thumbs, but I find any kind of platform useful for recording whatever you find interesting at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I've read that many. Actually, I had a teacher who said to me the worst place for your ideas or things to remember is in your head. anything that you wish that you think's important enough to remember.
You
Especially-
have to write it down.
Yeah, especially like creatively, you know, you gotta like, otherwise you will forget it. Like, even playing music, not that I'm a music player by any means, but the things that I've came up with things that I liked, but I never wrote them down or like recorded them, and I couldn't possibly remember what I played at that
Yep.
one moment.
Just like slips into the ether.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, important to keep a book of ideas, book of notes. Anyone listening, I think it's time you start doing that more often. Miss Cup, you've always been a very intelligent man in my history of you.
Oh, stop you.
You have though, really. I mean, some of the best arguments I've ever heard, or debates rather, have actually came from Ben and Cup. You guys both love a good argument.
There was that one time that it was hours long. I believe you guys were talking about robots to some degree.
It's always hours long. It's never like 5 minutes.
No, man, and you know, a good debate lasts longer than.
Sure, debate. I think a good debate will turn into a nice dialogue, and Ben here's a very logical person, so that makes it all the smoother.
There's a lot you can learn from a debate about not only like facts of life, but
I don't think you learn many facts when you drunkenly debate.
but who says
You
what a
never know.
fact is?
A fact about somebody's character, maybe.
Yeah, that's the next point I was getting at was
Yeah, you can find out a lot about a person.
and yourself. And I encourage all of our viewers to get more arguments.
Sure, curiosity. Let your curiosity override yourself sometimes. I think it's great to be called intelligent, but I'd rather be called a very curious fellow.
Yeah.
I think that can get a lot of mileage.
And you know what they say, that curiosity killed the cup. So, but in this case, I think it's only made you stronger. You're a strong guy. I see those biceps. Are you working out? Look at those arms.
I'm getting in pre-workout condition. So
look like-
maybe someday, hopefully, I'll start becoming athletic and exercise.
Do you box at all? I can see you boxing.
Nope, no physical activity or confrontation of any kind.
I mean, generally that's a good thing. I think I'm not a very confrontational person, nor do I engage in that much physical activity either. You do it a lot better than me in terms of keeping up with your frame, your meat body. We're all just meat bodies, everyone. I hope you realize that. So tonight we do have a few items of news. Pretty much old news because I barely do any research for the show. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think the timeliness of the stories we discuss is really relevant. I think it's the impact.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Hard hitting around here.
Our perception of what happens.
We're
is
definitely
what we're
hard
selling.
hitting here. we don't cover the small stories.
We're
There's
groundbreaking.
one word to describe.
We are groundbreaking. Oh yeah, so okay, I've been, I surf the web from time to time. I've actually been pretty busy lately, so I haven't had much time for it in a casual setting. But I found a couple of cool things here. I'm just gonna open up this first little document here. This is kind of some offbeat shit. I thought it was funny at the time, but I'll let you guys be the judge of it. Police in Ohio. I'm gonna try to say this without sounding like Bob and Brian or like some kind of thickly Wisconsin
You're doing a
accented-
great job so far.
I'm gonna do it like Bob and Brian. Did you hear this story?
I don't think they sound like that, do
Power
they?
through.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just do like the Wisconsin voice. Ohio cleaning service owner broke into house, tidied it up, and then left a bill for $75. Now one of us has to go like,
You see what she did there?
she broke into the house and then she tidied it up for him and left the bill.
$75 back in my day.
So is that the ultimate like freelancing like maid service?
I think it's wonderful because you don't have to pay it, but maybe you call them again.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think it's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that going
it's
on
awesome,
lately.
Guerrilla marketing.
People do anything just to sell their fucking product, If it was a hot girl, do you think any charges would have been pressed other than like dick to vagina.
If you
press.
come home and there's a hot girl randomly cleaning your house, I don't think you ask a lot of questions.
If she broke in,
You
though.
ask what's for lunch.
If she
maybe?
broke in, if she was hot enough, I think you tolerate it.
Italian beef sandwiches. Oh, my hands are really salty. That was gross.
Is your neck sweet right now?
No. You have to put your hand
sweat?
between your butt cheeks.
No, sweet neck.
Oh, if I did that right now, holy shit! You could probably smell it, like on my hand, from where we're sitting. You guys could smell it.
Smell your ass?
I can smell it.
If I
I can smell it already.
put my hand between my butt cheeks and can you really? I'm really self-conscious about my
the
ass.
butt cheek stench is overpowering in this corner.
I think he's being serious.
He
I think
is
he
being
is.
serious.
Shit. Is this an intervention? Is this the whole reason why we started this radio show?
Here we are.
Oh man. The more you know.
We need the guy from Intervention. We need that clip of the guy like.
That was one of the ones.
Love you.
Those were two. Yeah, that was one of the original ones that I spliced down, but we didn't use it because if you just, it's so annoying. If you just click a button and it starts like.
It's so funny. The auto tune one is by far the best one.
Yeah, I think you have to watch
get
the
that?
original first
Oh,
though,
dude.
and then
Yeah,
you get the
yeah,
auto.
I watched it live.
All right, what's
I
wrong with this
watched that
picture?
live.
No, I was wondering this. What is this? All right. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right, can you spin it around?
Yeah,
so that
I can spin it around. I didn't
So-
notice that the first time I looked at it.
I found this online. Viewers at home, if you're listening, Google search, what is it, R.A. Dickey? What's wrong with that picture?
There's a. Is that a dick in the back?
That's from like a
It's very subtle, but it begs attention, I guess.
once you see it,
They
it's all
have
you
a
can
lot
look
of
at.
clips like that. Like I've seen another ESPN one where this newscaster is in the men's locker room, and there's just like a huge black junk just like hanging from the top of the screen.
On like public.
Yeah. You can look that one up. I don't know what you would look up,
Are
but
those the guys from the halfway house?
Yeah, I don't think you should just be Googling like black junk in the corner.
oh, you should. It's pretty wild.
I usually Google search black junk front and center, or like spread eagle. So, and look, I've never done it in the corner though, so I don't know what that could potentially yield.
Which corner?
I don't know. That's what begs the question. I mean, all right. Should we go? Should we just dive right into some bullshit?
Yeah, man, I've never
Yeah.
been one to turn down something like that.
All right. This is a question for my guest. Have you? What is your porn site? Daylight porn site. I'm asking it.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
No, that's a dumb question. We talk about that enough.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not
I
that
mean,
dumb.
no, I don't think it's that dumb because I think everybody does have a favorite.
Everyone's wondering what everyone's is. I think to knuckle
But
to
is it ever just one? Like, I don't know.
me. I only go to one. It's all I need. There's more on there than I could
No,
ever
it's not
even
about
imagine
like
looking
need. It's just like
Curiosity?
Well, see, Tuesdays I go to Bang Bros, and on,
well.
on Wednesdays
You got it mapped.
I go
Well, yeah, it's clips.
to Brazen.
I got a few.
It's
There's
an
a few
aggregator.
that make it into the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I'm saying. Like you call back one like they were talking about it on the Rogan cast, and I had looked at it. I had looked at it a while ago, the My Free Cams one, and it's like every once in a while you just like go to it and you're like, oh, forgot
My
about
Free
this one.
Cams?
This one's pretty.
Are those the ones
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can talk to? They can talk to them live.
Yeah, and it's free, and people just like tip, and then they, get naked. It's pretty entertaining. It's like one of those. It's more novelty than anything.
Yeah. I don't know. That wouldn't do
don't-
it for me.
I never bought those. I always thought those were
No, it's
just
free.
like fake.
It's what
Well,
do
don't
mean
you-
fake? No,
Like not real time. Like they're already recorded.
Oh, no, they're real.
You know what's funny? I feel like porn sites have replaced strip clubs, like for our generation. You know what I mean? Like back in the '80s, like our dads, my stupid idiot, missing dad, missing.
If
Where
you
are
found
you?
him, call into the show.
Hey, yeah. Dad, if you're
The
watching,
numbers at the bottom of the screen.
I would now like to open up the lines to just my dad. So if just my dad wants to call, I think you owe me one.
We're all crossing our fingers.
I'm really crying on the inside though. I haven't stopped.
Well, I can hear you weeping late into the night. Some nights.
The walls are that thin. I've learned to weep pretty silently, like in the past. Like that's one of the things I've really gotten good at.
You think it's
They're
silent?
silent but deadly.
When an ended lamb. All right. Well, do we have any music tonight? I know
got some music.
I know that the real draw to this show for the viewers is the music that we provide every week. We haven't gotten any really new stuff.
Yeah, we
in a
need
couple
some new
weeks.
music.
So any people in bands or any musicians out there that may be listening, we'd love to have a what's the word? Catalyst. We would love to be your catalyst into the infinite stream of digital information that is this mother
Aren't we
internet.
more of a stagnant pool than like a catalyst? to
No, we're the
anything?
catalyst.
We're like a
I've heard us described as the catalyst before.
yeah, man. We're like a neutron star. Right
We're on the
burst.
crux.
There's
Maybe
neutron
shriveled
star?
node, maybe Ben, that's what he's getting at.
Wait, aren't yeah, we're a node. We're not a shriveled node, we're a developing node. We're a baby node. Baby node radio.
I don't like that name very much.
That was baby,
Baby
node
node.
radio.
I like Baby Node Radio.
It's got a nice little like is that a cadence? Is that what you would call cadence? What's cadence? Someone define cadence because that's a word I always
Your
hear I don't know.
cadence is like your, or it's not
How
your
you
aura.
carry
Yeah,
yourself.
it's kind of your aura. It's like your cadence. Like if you chest out, shoulders back, whatever, and you walk, you like command a room versus like slouched, looking depressed.
What are you
that could be
trying
your
to say?
cadence.
What do you-
well,
what the fuck?
you slouch
Hey, I want to
and,
hear what
and you look depressed.
Hey, I want to hear what Cup has to say about this.
Well, I agree that demeanor and how you present yourself can be form of a cadence, but I imagine cadence is more of like a rhythmic structure, for whatever
blurry.
expression.
It's so
It could be
blurry.
body language. But
I got
sure.
some good ones.
What the flash?
I think it's definitely both. It's
avoid it.
kind of all encompassing. It like you every aspect.
So
of
it's
you
just
kind of.
it's just like it's what Christians would call like your soul,
A little bit, I guess. Yeah.
your spirit, your American pride. I love guns. I love America. I love God. I love country. I love army.
I heard.
I love bullets. I love ammo. I
Yeah,
love
ammo doesn't get enough credit.
Love me some ammo. You guys ever shoot a gun?
I shot a gun once, just like in a field in a farm far away. It was really random and very strange.
It's pretty fun though.
Sure, yeah, shooting guns.
Handgun or like rifle or like
Sure, yeah, all of it.
all.
Mhm.
Never shot a rifle.
No rifles for you, huh?
Yeah,
That's,
no. Handguns are sweet.
Yeah, they, makes your elbows sort of move around a little too much, at least for my taste.
Yeah. You got a little 22. Hey, people who know what like kind of guns are like what kind of guns there are.
Yeah, it's like when you say like, "Oh yeah, I've shot a gun." They're like, "Oh, what'd you shoot? The
What's that?
12 Magnum?" And it's like, I don't know, man. I had a gun.
Yeah, when they like, there's always talk about like the caliber and stuff like that. I have no idea what that means. I mean, I have a general idea, but
Yeah. I
don't-
think the
I don't
lower the
care
number,
if
the
I'm-
lesser it
So
has.
so
power.
then like a Colt 45 is 45
Pretty strong.
caliber.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, like .45. Like Desert Eagle.
I know there's like a
.50.
33. Oh really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's kind of bad.
And that's like
yeah.
I'm
Desert
sure there's
Eagle.
bigger handguns now. I don't
Well,
really
see, when you
pay
play
attention to
Counter
that
Strike,
shit.
you better pick the
Yeah.
Desert Eagle as your secondary, or what is that? Your pistol. You get a
Yeah,
primary, secondary,
sidearm,
and a pistol.
grenade or something.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I kind of missed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of shit's wore off. I mean, the only thing I play is Street Fighter,
Yeah, same here now.
and that's like a fucking cancer in my
You know-
body.
No,
can't-
dude, it's a great way to spend your time. It's
fun.
It's
really
fun, but I get so worked up and I can't even help it. Like I find myself
You shouldn't play
stand-
it before bed. That's
I find
one
myself
thing.
standing on the couch regularly.
Seriously,
now.
when Ben plays, I'm gonna have to get up and do a little visual here for everyone. 'Cause I don't think you've seen it, Cup, but
Let's see if you're. We
he's
can
like-
get you in shot.
Ben's playing Street Fighter, and he gets so worked up. He's like, you like jump onto like the couch.
I swear to God, that's not for anybody. I do that when nobody's around. Like I'll be standing on the couch and I'll be like, "What the hell am I doing on the couch?" Like I'm playing a video game. But like when I do an uppercut, when I'm like trying to tap
Yeah,
the uppercut,
right.
and it hits like right before they hit me with something devastating, like I'll jump into the air and it's I don't know. I get so into it.
Ben's cadence while playing Street Fighter.
There you
is-
go. That's my cadence.
Is just. Then how would you describe cadence? How would you describe someone's like however you wanted?
Well, let's say for like a marching band, right? Or when somebody's clipping, clapping little sticks together, you can, maybe pick up some kind of cadence, right? I don't know. These are just small examples.
No, I don't know. I think as far as cadence, it's like this guy electrifies the room. That's his cadence. Like that's the way you would
Yeah, it's
describe
like
somebody.
it's kind of
Okay.
how people pick up on you.
So
Yeah,
cadence,
yeah.
Cadence is a description of someone's personality. Essentially,
I think it's
roughly.
more body language than actual personality. I think I don't know.
Do we have an English teacher?
Cadence is a count off.
Count off.
When you're marching, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's cadence.
Okay.
Oh, well, then there's two different definitions.
yeah, but you
of
can
the
you can
same thing.
say you can have a cadence about you.
Apparently, cadence is actually
that's
like.
two different things.
Same word though, right?
Yeah.
Which one were we talking about? I'm confused now.
I just have this wave of optimism come over me, just sitting next to Ben here. He's talking about the spirit and personality and gestures and how it all comes together. I think that's a really great topic to explore.
Yeah,
I think,
I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, whether or not cadence, fits that category, we can
right.
we can appreciate that.
I'm just trying to know what that freaking word means. But I thank you, sir, for explaining it.
I'm here to help.
It's see I didn't take a moment to even do our sponsors, did I?
No, you didn't.
Oh man.
It's a good time for a
All
commercial
right.
break.
This actually, we're gonna do a commercial real quick. I'm gonna do it live, I think, but you guys can take 5. Want to take a moment to give a shout out to the Irish Knot, located on the corner of Wright and Fratney. I think it's 2449 Fratney. They are a home to the world's loudest karaoke every Sunday night. Every week it's getting louder and louder, and like every time it gets louder, the fun also increases. So you're there, you forget you're even on planet Earth, really. I mean, isn't that all we're really trying to do? Is just trying to escape?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ultimately always trying to forget that I'm on this godforsaken planet.
This rock rotating around a gigantic nuclear reaction.
This wonderful blue moist.
Okay,
rock.
okay.
Yeah. One-
Update. Can I get some update music? This just in.
We
We really need to get
Cadence.
some.
All right. Cadence.
We should have like a news ticker
We
sound.
should. We definitely need to.
A modulation or inflection of the voice. Such a modulation in reading aloud as implied by the structure and ordering of words and phrases in written text. So I guess it's more about
Description of.
yeah. I think
We
it's
really
more.
have no idea what we're talking about.
I really think it
most of the
encompasses
time.
more than that, though.
Well, I think cadence just denotes a structure, and whatever you could put in that, it follows some kind of pattern. Probably a regular pattern is what we appreciate in most cadences.
Regular pattern. Speaking of regular patterns, you assholes just broke my you, Ben, actually. Shouldn't call you an asshole. You interrupted the commercial, and that's pretty rude.
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was just searching it on my phone, and then when I found it, I thought it would be a fun time for breaking news.
No, I know. I was teasing. But now we know cadence. I think cadence has been established even in this.
Yeah,
This
we have
podcast.
a brand new cadence now because there's some sexual tension between you and I can tell.
Well, I know you like it when I yell at you. He's my tiny little boy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do things that aren't right, and you don't appreciate it, but but you look at me with those stern eyes and that strong.
And then we take it
broad
out. We take it out in the bedroom.
cadence, and
I take it out on you in the bedroom, and we fall asleep in each other's arms.
go on.
Let me do that for you real quick. But yeah, so Irish Knot, great bar, excellent deals, awesome people, pinball. I mean, what bar can you even say has pinball anymore? I think they're the only ones in the area. And there was a heated game of pinball going on.
That's kind of like a dive bar thing, right? Like
Totally. There's pinball machines all over here.
Where?
Yeah.
You tell me where.
Well, first of all,
Landmark?
Landmark, obviously.
Okay, but
Landmark.
Landmark has
Beyond
more
that-
than pinball.
Gig's got some pinball machines.
Yeah, I guess they have one.
Yeah. They're
Do they have one?
definitely around.
They're
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah,
They
they
used to
do.
have a
has
Star Trek one.
All
yeah.
right. Oh, sweet. You like Star Trek Cup?
They have a CSI one at the Gig, which I think is the stupidest idea for a pinball machine ever. It might be the worst.
They have Lord of the Rings.
A Lord of the Rings pinball machine.
Irish Knot, yeah.
Yeah, see, I could.
You're.
I can do that.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Star Trek.
Back to the Irish Knot.
It's
Star Trek.
It's up there.
What's your favorite generation?
Generation like
Cast of characters, if you will.
well, let's just say
Next generation. That one's a good one.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one there.
That one's pretty iconic. I know there's Deep Space Nine. Has some of the characters, but no Captain Picard. So who cares?
How did
Yeah,
the
I feel like
movies,
Deep Space Nine is a joke. It's for
oh,
clowns.
totally.
for a total novice, how did the movies stack up to the show?
I've never
Like-
seen a movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movies, and people say that the show is good, but like, give me a frame of reference for a show like that I would actually go back and watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like my taste in movies has drastically changed.
Because
though.
some people, yeah, movies is different, but as far as TV shows, some people say I gotta go back and watch Northern Exposure for no reason.
Man, I always hated when that
And, like,
show came on.
What show is that?
They had, like the moose in the intro, and it just
Actually-
looked horrible.
Actually, a viewer of ours might have suggested that to me a couple weeks ago. So it might be good. Apparently, it's like some crime drama set in the 90s. But it's like somebody else, like, I used to have to watch Wings all the time. And that
Why?
show's like, it's like one set. It's just the airport, like, whatever,
Yeah.
common area. And it's just hacky joke after hacky joke, followed by, like, crazy, like, button pushed crowd laughter.
Yeah. How's that?
No, that's no good.
I love, if button pushed crowd laughter is done right, it can really think of Seinfeld.
It can make things way funnier,
Picture
for
if
sure.
Seinfeld didn't have a laugh track. Do you think it would be like unwatchable?
I think that it would definitely be less watchable, like
Yeah.
slightly. But the show
No.
is like the best ever.
Because a lot of the humor comes in like the reaction to the laughter. Like that.
Well, they were in front of a live audience.
They put the
by way.
pauses in after they,
had
allow
a,
the laugh
They had a
time.
live
Yeah.
audience, so they weren't like.
Oh, they had a
button
live
pushing.
audience?
Yeah.
I guess that's.
But,
that's different then.
Even so, though, they took the laugh track out of Big Bang Theory, which I watched like a season and a half of, and I don't get what everybody's talking about. I think that show's horseshit. But
I've seen it briefly a few times. There was nothing that I saw
Really?
that would make me think that
Dude,
anybody should ever watch that
I
show.
used to
I think it's
actually
for
look
dumb
forward to
people.
watching that show. I
Dude,
swear to God, I used to like
I
it.
think
You like it? Steve likes it too. People
I don't
like
know.
that show.
I feel like people think they're smarter when they laugh at jokes that are supposedly smart. Like,
But that's the thing. They're not smart jokes. They're just
No,
about
they're
smart.
not.
They're just about like science.
Well, I heard somewhere.
That's enough to confuse most people.
No, okay.
And I have
alright.
no facts to back this up or anything, but one of the actresses on that show, she plays some sort of amazing, awesome biomedical engineer scientist,
the
and
girl?
she's that
She's
in
a
real
hot-
life,
she's a hot chick.
and she's
Oh,
actually
really?
has that education and that career. So, maybe
saying,
there's
like-
some character development there.
No, there is. I mean, it's a classic sitcom where like there's like story elements that are in every other sitcom, but it's just the things they talk about are funny because I can relate on like certain.
the show is watchable.
level.
I'm not saying it's not watchable.
Yeah,
Like, there's a
it's not
lot
my
of shows
favorite
that I
show.
could watch.
It's not my
and-
favorite show. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, okay. But it's fine. But people talk about it like it's the next Seinfeld or something, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean, it was being hyped
that's
way
insane.
more.
But my point was they had they took out the laugh track in that show,
Really?
and it is
Weird.
unwatchably bad.
I bet
now
it's
you
weird.
take the laughs out of Seinfeld, that show you'll still be laughing out loud in your living room.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the show, some people don't like it. I love it.
They're wrong, by the way.
Yeah, all
I
those
can
people.
only say they're wrong. Like I don't
Yeah.
talk about that many
one of the
shows
few
with that
things
much
that you can be
confidence.
wrong at.
It's that and Curb Your Enthusiasm and Arrested Development. If you can't get down with those shows, you have something wrong with your humor. You just have to.
Yeah, something's crossed there. They
What
got
if you
something
can only
wrong.
get done with 2 out of the 3 of those shows?
What's the third?
I'm not sure, but I haven't.
Yeah, which
seen
one don't you like?
The one I haven't seen at all.
Arrested
can't-
Development?
That's deep.
You can't not like all three.
Dude, it's a good show, man.
Well, you know,
So even though I haven't seen it, I already like it.
yeah, you would like it. Like, I'd be
But we
very
don't-
surprised if you didn't.
we don't know what our guest benchmark is for comedy.
I'll
mean,
put $100 on it. He's gonna like that.
we don't know. We don't know if his thing, like his funniest thing to him, is like a bunch of dead babies being bulldozed into like a river. But
Well, this is my question. Is something funny if it makes somebody laugh?
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, I'm sold on their comedy then.
we don't. Yeah, and so how about this? What's your favorite comedy movie / comedic actor? If you had to, like, you know, your favorite, like the movie that makes you laugh the most, or comedian, or who would you say that is to you?
Well, let's see here. The comedian who has made me laugh the most. Well,
If I mean, you know, if it stands out, if you
Is
have
it
one,
ever a comedian? Is that a thing?
that's a.
the word exists, and I'm sure there's a reference in reality. I think that's how words function.
Did I say
sometimes.
comedian? Oh.
Comedian.
But you know what? I think there's. I like to say I'm a fan of Will Sasso, and maybe he's.
I heard.
The mainstream's mainstream.
Oh no,
but,
I definitely was a fan of Mad
appreciate his
TV.
He's most certainly not mainstream anymore. Nobody knows what Mad TV is.
Well, do you?
I'm not talking about Mad TV. There was this movie, where he was in, where he did a bunch of spoofs, satire of things like action movies.
Yeah.
Very funny, good stuff.
So you like? You're a fan of Farce?
Yeah,
Is
there
that
you go.
Farce?
Cup, have you ever listened to the 10-minute podcast? Will Sasso, he's on a podcast with 2 other comedians.
Really?
It's pretty good.
That's
Podcast.
interesting. That piques my
Yeah,
curiosity.
check it out. It's
Are
only
you-
10 minutes long.
Are you
They
a fan
just
of
kinda ramble on.
podcast? Do you listen to podcasts at all?
I have. I've listened to your show. Here.
Well, this one. I mean, obviously, we already know that. Are any other ones particularly that you listen to regularly?
No, this is why it was necessary to come on the show and talk to you guys. I need to find the right direction. Get a little
Not trying
style,
to-
a little interest, a little intrigue from you all.
All I'm saying is that I think that you would enjoy listening to one. Just getting started, because I don't know. I'm not a big fan of listening to music like all the time. I'm kind of over listening to music all the time. I like podcasts though because I think they're way more interesting.
I think unless you're reading, that's the only time that I can't do it. But if I'm doing anything else at all, like even playing a video game or not watching TV.
Can we cut
but-
that? Just kidding.
No, but it's always podcasts over music for me, because if you start to get into certain people, if you dig deep enough, you can find them on tons and tons of podcasts, and you can
Yeah.
learn everything you ever wanted to know about them.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is just listening to good. I feel like I'm more productive when I'm listening to good conversation.
Totally, at work, I'll kill it with a podcast.
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
yeah.
Music, you kind of just daydream a little more.
Yeah, you think. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Human voice kind of has, for me at least, has a way to make me focus more on things. Like even when I'm like doodling and stuff, I feel like I doodle better things when I'm listening to voices.
You sense the cadence of the voice.
Oh my-
Perhaps infuses you.
Really? Don't you hate when people are like, really?
Man, that was a nice callback. Good job.
Yeah,
bud.
you brought it back, man.
No, but as far as podcasting goes, I'm such a huge fan of podcasting, and I've gotten a couple books from people I've heard on podcasts.
Yeah.
And
audiobooks.
I haven't gotten audiobooks
I wanna
yet,
get into
but
that.
I've gotten books based upon people's interviews that I've heard.
Yeah.
And you hear about these people that you've never discovered before, and maybe
Yeah.
they're huge, and maybe they're not that huge at
Yeah.
all, but you learn about these people, and you after like an hour and a half to 2.5 hour podcast, you almost develop like a weird like viewer listener relationship
Yeah, no, totally,
with them.
totally.
You really feel like you like kind of know them a
Yeah.
little.
Like, you could
like
totally
if you
be
saw
friends.
him, you would just be like, "Oh, what up, dude?" Like,
Yeah, you'd think
really
they know
cool.
who you are
Right.
when you totally don't.
Yeah,
Like,
and
why
on the
would
flip,
they-
yeah, on the
It's
flip
totally
side,
true.
How would that feel to be someone who
It's
has
totally
a huge
different for
podcast
them.
following? Yeah,
They're just like, I mean, they're grateful a lot of times.
yeah, no. I mean, they
Yeah,
they
you'd
can't
be
be
cool.
They can't not
Yeah.
be. But
It's
I mean,
not like you're that huge of a celebrity.
No,
picture-
I think they really appreciate it.
picture playing a like a live comedy performance, let's say, and then while as you're leaving, there's like hundreds of people who want to like talk to you in some way. Isn't that
Yeah,
that'd be so weird?
Imagine that based upon like, your comedy or whatever, but
Yeah.
based upon podcasting, it's so amazing what it's done for people. But I just wanted to say quickly, like, I heard Tim Ferriss for the first time on a podcast, and I've referenced him on the show before, and I
Yeah.
got his book, and I lost 40 pounds from after reading
Yeah,
the
that's
4
true.
Hour Body.
Yeah, that really is something to applaud because I'm sure it took a lot of will to shed 40 pounds in like 2 months. Essentially.
I don't think it was that quick, but
It was pretty quick. I mean, it was a pretty like I don't know if you can agree with me, Barn. It was a pretty like night and day change for me at least.
Yeah, it was quick.
It was just like
It was
holy
effective.
shit! Like I was used to seeing you a certain way,
Yeah.
when we first moved in, because I was used to it, and then like it just happened like 1 week we were like out somewhere. I'm like, holy shit, man, you slimmed up. Good for you. Proud of you. I wish we all had that kind of will.
The cool thing about like if you actually read the book, it would help a lot.
I'm bad at. I'm just.
I'm a terrible.
I
reader.
can't believe you
I'm-
read that thing like cover to cover.
I didn't read it cover.
You
to
didn't
cover.
read it cover to
no,
cover?
There's,
I thought you
there's
got
extra
through it.
chapters
Bible.
in the back about like Olympic this and that, and it's like I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, you're not training for the Olympics.
No.
Speaking of Olympics,
Until 20.
Let's
until
train for the
2016.
Olympics.
Until
Let's just pick a
2016.
sport and
there was this dude.
Do it.
I guess you could call him like not a he was like a conspiracy guy for sure, but he was like this young guy, and he was talking. He thinks that at the 2012 Olympic Games, they're gonna stage an alien invasion.
Who said this?
This guy named Rick Clay, Rickclay.
I hope they do. Why not?
Yeah, no, there's a really.
I hope they do.
Yeah, right. That's I was just gonna say like they. He's one of those they people. I guess.
I don't know. I think it's I think Stephen Hawkins is like exactly correct when he says do not talk to the aliens.
Well, how do
He
we
says,
know?
like,
Yeah. How do we know they aren't already here and they've just disguised themselves as us, like in the
then
movie
who
They
cares? Then who cares?
I think that was Men in Black.
no,
Well,
that,
that
it
too.
was definitely in They Live.
They Live was the first. He had to
no,
wear the
well,
special
What
sunglasses.
the hell? I've never heard of They Live.
They Live was starring Rowdy Piper.
Piper.
It was an '80s movie,
That's
like pretty
actually,
cheesy.
you know the song? Not Somebody's Watching Me. What the hell is that other song? It's a famous song.
You're gonna have to be a little bit more descriptive than that.
Oh, it's actually a metal song. Forget about it.
Oh. Ben, we don't talk about video games or metal on this podcast.
Yeah,
someday
sorry
we
about
will.
that.
Someday we're gonna get the right people in the room, and we're gonna have an epic debate. I think we could do a Magic one too, if you wanted to host that one.
That'll be another program.
That air, anything goes.
Dude, we could do it. I could talk a little about Magic.
I could.
I'm out of the loop, man.
Well,
Out of the loop.
You don't have to be current with like the current decks of the game. We could.
If
just
you want to
talk
be
about
taken
Magic in
seriously, you
general.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should.
I guess
take
everybody who doesn't care about Magic would tune out instantly, though, and they
Yeah.
already have, by the way.
Right. Yeah, I think we're losing them with certain topics, and we want to make everyone feel comfortable here on Dead Air. We want this broadcast to be like a soothing lullaby to you. Or actually, I forgot to mention the magic word tonight. How much time do we have?
I mean,
We
I
got
don't know.
plenty.
We're just
Okay.
gonna go.
What is it?
All right.
What does it matter?
Well, I guess we're going tonight. Anyway, we were gonna do a little program. I know it's about that time. Everyone's about to head out for the night and maybe indulge in some heavy intoxication to the point where you really won't even be recovered by tomorrow, maybe even Monday.
Well, I'll need some beer.
So anytime we mention anything that has to do with getting raped, being raped, in any capacity, that's a word we can use broadly here. you viewers at home need to take a little sip of whatever drink is nearest to you, whatever liquid is nearest to you. You have to go find it. And,
Alcoholic only, though. This
yeah.
is a drinking game.
right. Or anything near the nearest liquids, even if it's like a pen, you have to break open. Don't do that.
Drink pen fluid.
Yeah.
Ink?
No.
It's called ink. It's not pen
Drink
fluid.
that pen juice that writes.
Hey man, you got that ink? What if squid ink was like a hallucinogenic? Would that be pretty sweet?
I don't know.
How hard would that be though? You know, there's some like gourmet restaurants now that like they just love to douse shit in squid ink.
Dude, I told you on that. It was
I bet
either
it tastes like
Anthony
soy
Bourdain,
sauce.
Anthony Bourdain, or Andrew Zimmern. They went to some Greek place, and the dude is downing ouzo, which I've had, and it's gross.
Yeah.
But this dude's downing ouzo all day, and he's cooking up like battered ink sacks. And it's like a delicacy there. It looked so gross. Like you bite into it, and it's like, and you got ink all over your face.
Man, I mean, people are doing some extreme shit in the culinary arts these days. I don't know if we should bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a dead horse for beating a dead horse on that
What?
topic. The Japanese chef who considered
Oh.
himself asexual.
We brought that up last week, right?
Yeah, we talked about
Oh
that.
shit!
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, man,
talking
get
about
with
old
it.
news. Does Cup know about that though? Cup, have you heard about this?
I think it came to me in a dream once. You said an asexual chef. Yeah, that was last night, definitely.
That's gonna be a sound clip. Last night you heard about it in your dream? What?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, performed it on themselves, or how did that come about? Actually, I don't know the details.
Well,
Very vague.
we talked about it last week, but just to inform Cup here, maybe he didn't watch it last week, and now I know he didn't. Shame on
You're
you.
busted, buddy.
You're lucky you're. No, I'm just kidding. There is an asexual Japanese chef who had his reproductive organs surgically removed.
He was remarkably only like 22 years
Yeah.
old or something like that.
22-year-old
Like
chef.
this guy
He's like,
decided
"I'm done
at
with it."
22. He's like, yeah, I'm not just like a fucked up 22-year-old. I'm. You know
know
what if he was having like a weird couple of years and he's like, I'm asexual now.
Some weird
chop,
years.
and then it's over. He can't. He'd have to sift through the toilet after people were done.
You know
I'm
what,
pretty
though?
sure
This day and
penis
age-
is digestible.
Yeah.
See, I don't get. A, how do you decide you're asexual? And B, can't you be asexual and still keep your cock and balls?
Not if you're legit, dude. Not if you want to cook up that dick and serve it to like 5 people at like $200 a plate, man. That's cash money. That's like $1,000.
$1,000 is dick meat.
I don't know. I
My
totally
question
made
is,
that
how
up.
does he pee
maybe
now?
1,300 yen?
It's gotta just dribble
Is it
out.
just like
It's
a-
gotta be a mess.
So there's just like a hole at the
no,
base of his body.
it's a geyser. Like picture Old Faithful
like a fine
kind of
mist.
a
thing.
geyser. That's so clever, Ben.
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Chewing on acorns. All right, I think we're gonna do a quick little break here. We're gonna find out the true details of the timing here, but we'll get back to you. We got a song for us.
Faulty, Icarus down.
We love them here. Hey, they're playing Summerfest. They are headlining Summerfest. We'll have more details on that in just a minute. Stay tuned. Radio. Unfortunately, we're minus 2 people right now. They'll be back in a second. Just had a few things to talk about here. Feeling good. The bloop.
The bloop, man.
You guys ever hear of the bloop?
I
What is the
had
bloop?
never heard of this before
Wait,
today.
I didn't read the article, but let me guess what it is because I think I might know.
Okay.
Is it that like unexplainable, crazy like vibration in the deep sea that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So
It
I don't.
was-
That's all I really know about it or remember about it.
Wasn't it just on the screen? Oh,
Yeah,
all right, here
right
it is. It's it was this sound
Yeah.
that apparently when you speed it up, they had to speed it up so they could hear it or something or other.
Yeah.
That they have no idea what could have made it because it was so shockingly loud.
Yeah. Right. I remember there was like. Did you ever hear
I
it?
want to see. Yeah, I did hear it. I want to see if I can pull that. I want to see if I can pull that.
It's a
up.
really weird noise. It's like.
It just sounds like something splashing into the ocean.
Yeah. Right. Like it could be like some gigantic. I bet you. I mean, no, I bet it was like a fault line or something. Some kind of like
That's what I was kind of
plate
thinking
tectonic
too. But
Phenomena.
phenomena.
Your mic's not on.
Your mic wasn't on. You missed it, man. That would have been awesome. No, I missed it.
You guys.
I'm up on I'm on Google. I'm trying to find that.
So-
What was it, the blue?
We were just talking, me and Barnes here. You guys ever hear about that like science mystery of it's called the bloop? Apparently, it's like this like insanely loud noise that they captured in the ocean, like on some like deep sea vessel, like captured this like reverberation.
Bloop is the best name they could come up with for it.
No, I heard of the bleep, not the bloop.
The blob add a vowel to it. I can't do that right now. Anyway, no.
So
the
it's
bloop.
coming. We're gonna have the sound here.
Yeah.
I'm just queuing it up.
This
We're
is-
dealing with
This is what agency
Oh, it's like a
discovered
crazy
this?
sound.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like this. They captured some really unexplainable, gigantically loud sound in the ocean.
We're gonna get
3
to
minutes
it.
long.
Yeah, and it gets the longer it goes on, the crazier it gets.
Doesn't It's just like bubbles.
No, dude, it gets insane.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
what it sounds like when I take a bubble bath.
When was the last time you took a bubble bath? Cup.
You can ask Ben the same question.
Can you guys answer it at the same time? Like with your. For those of you who can't see, they have to share a mic tonight, so it's getting. Actually, it's really hot to watch from here. Watching them share something like that, long, slender microphone, both their hands on it at the same time.
Oh yeah. It's sexual over here. I won't lie.
I'm sweating, and that's not just because it's 95 degrees in this corner.
I'm sweating in my headphones, legitimately.
Think of we're sharing these headphones with everyone, by the way. So think of everyone else who's sweating these things.
So
Wash your ears tonight, guys. Where did we capture that crazy sound?
It's like it's not coming through loud enough. Like it's playing, but it doesn't really do it justice.
Well, let's give it a little bit. What agency discovered this noise? Was it like a U.S.
Let me go back to the article here.
national?
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. There's some serious folks over
Yeah.
at that agency.
Okay, picture hearing this in the ocean.
that's just a boat on surface.
We're talking deep sea here.
Yeah, this is deep sea. They had that microphone down there, and they detected
Right,
it in the
it was
same-
a submarine,
No,
actually.
here's the crazy thing about it: 2 separate microphones over 3,000 miles apart detected the same noise at the same level of the ocean. It wasn't like it was giant. Whatever was making this.
This is also sped up 16 times. So what we're hearing is actually like a faster version of it.
It sounds scary, but it could be anything. Like once you slow it down.
There we go. I'm just gonna turn up the volume.
Yeah, that's pretty great. You know, if we
Bloops
all
were in the beginning. I'm gonna go back and.
if we all live on this world, you know how a house can get creaky at night sometimes. Well, this might be the creakiness of the earth.
That's what I'm saying.
Dark
Plate
place.
tectonic phenomena.
That's the Earth just creaking.
Yeah, and it's sped up faster, so it sounds weirder. So, but you probably wouldn't even be able to hear it.
Wouldn't it be way
You couldn't hear
cooler
it. Yeah.
if it was just like a giant beast that like
Yeah.
we've never seen.
That's what
before.
we're all hoping for.
I mean, that's the Mariana Trench or whatever it is. Like that's the most exciting thing to me is because there's stuff down there that could be gigantic
Yeah.
and never discovered.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about this on a past episode, but James Cameron plundered the deep of the Challenger.
He's crazy.
Deep.
He's insane.
Did you hear about that, Cup? How he went down there? What do you think of that? All right. I think we can
He's
cut
quite
that.
the explorer, isn't he? He's made his own way, and he dream up this little bubble or this little metal tube. He just dunked himself in there.
Yeah.
Deepest part of the world, they say.
Yeah, it's I've only heard this, but apparently it's as deep as Mount Everest is tall. So put that into perspective. Actually, I think it's got to be bigger, right? I thought it was like 7 miles.
Yeah,
down.
it's supposedly like super deep.
Yeah.
I think it's the
I don't know the
craziest
number.
thing like on the planet.
That's what I've
Like, I
heard
think that's
over
the
and over.
consensus.
That's what's so amazing about it.
Hey, if he makes a movie out of it, it's better for all of us. Huh?
It's true. Well, better for him. Probably worse for all of us, actually. Unless it's like a documentary that actually not like a.
Do you think he'll
fiction.
find some giant ocean ape and he'll bring it to New York and put it on show for everybody?
Maybe.
So, yeah.
If this was
What about those Bondo apes? You seen that?
Bondo apes. No, what is that?
They're like man-sized or bigger
Oh,
apes.
wait.
Chimpanzees, sorry.
Really?
Yeah, they've found these things and they have them in this one zoo. I saw this clip of it. It's totally insane. These are like
What are they called?
Bondo apes.
Bondo.
Yeah, there's also this picture of these guys or this one dude. I don't know. I think they're in the Congo. They're like deep in the Congo. And they're totally insane. They're like huge, like human. They
The Bondo Mystery Apes is
Yeah,
the title of the article.
they have mannerisms of like human beings. That's really creepy.
If there's any, just a brief caveat here, if there's any viewers at home who would like to call in and maybe expand our knowledge of Bondo apes, please feel free to call in. You guys probably already have the number.
Yeah, could we get our Bondo ape expert to
Yeah.
call in?
Anyone with any knowledge of Bondo apes, please come in. Saying Bondo ape kind of reminds me of Bondo rape, and that means you guys at home have to take a drink.
Do it, ladies and gentlemen.
You have
as
no
well,
choice. I'll
everybody.
know. I will know. I won't know, but
You'll know. Don't show the seams. You'll know.
we're on the honor system here. If any of you guys out there would like to donate to this radio show,
Size of a gorilla. They're huge. Kermit is the size of a female gorilla.
I will. I apologize for that, everyone. Have you guys seen the ape that can walk on its hind legs and like prefers to walk on its hind legs?
Yeah, that was the human. What did they call that? They thought that was a human. They're
Really?
not a human. They thought that it was the stepping stone between apes and humans.
Homo erectus.
They find one ape that can walk, and they're like, "That's it.
It was a long
we
time.
got it.
It was in like the 60s or
We
something.
did it.
It was crazy though.
Start with car insurance facts.
Where the
All
hell
right,
is
what
that
are we?
coming
What?
from?
What? Come on.
I don't know, man. It's just coming out
This
of
one
nowhere.
ape was
All
so
right, let's
crazy because his face was completely bald. He walked like a human. He preferred drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes. I'm not shitting you. Like,
So he
look-
was like the working man's ape.
I guess. I wish I could remember the name of the ape. There's like a documentary about him, but it's totally insane. This guy, this ape, he has a totally bald face. He walks like a human. He was so insane. You gotta look it up. I don't know what to search though.
Did he prefer to wear Get Her Done T-shirts and FM 106 stickers on his bumper of his truck?
No, I don't think he was a Midwestern ape.
Oh, let me do the honors here. That one's for the fans. I know that's their favorite song.
It's a fan favorite.
Yeah. Adam wanted to take it off, but I've fought for it, and now we have it. Speaking of fighting, there's been a lot of heated political debate lately. I'm not going to get into it too much. What happened, and we have to move forward there. Just like he always says, our governor always says we have to move forward.
Yeah, the one
Wait,
guy. the
what
one guy-
happened?
Well, the one dude beat up the other dude, and then they had this one trial, and the people voted that the one dude is cool, so he's gonna stick around.
The cool guy won.
Yeah, the cool guy. Well,
the best.
Well, he was a rock star. That's all I know.
The best team. It really is just a team thing, you know. Some people they pick their home team, and It's
Yeah.
just it's like no different than the Packers versus the Cubs.
Yeah, but the Cubs fucking suck, man. It's actually the Bears that.
I know. I know we make fun of sports here a lot.
You're right. Oops.
But yeah, things happen. It drives me nuts.
Isn't there election soon? I don't know how long governor's term is.
I don't know.
It's 8 years.
18 years?
8 years?
No, not 18. It's 8.
It's only
Is it actually 8? No.
Yes, sir.
Really?
8 years. I'm like 89% positive on that.
I think if the viewers at home can call in and confirm this.
Yes, inform yourselves. These things are good to know. Don't you agree?
Are they actually important? Though?
Okay, well, it's totally unimportant.
People tend to
But,
blow it out of proportion.
Well, let's run down the line. Senate, that's supposedly like 2 years.
Maybe I don't know
Okay,
anything
well,
about this system.
maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
That's why it's
but
not working for me.
I'm gonna say 2 years for senator, 4 years for president.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure on that one.
What about vice president?
Same term. We're gonna go 8 years on governor, and then for Supreme Court justice, that's lifetime, baby. Once
Yeah,
you're in.
Really?
Oh, it's lifetime.
So
That seems kind of ridiculous to me.
It's totally ridiculous.
It's like
Yeah.
we have like a council of like.
yeah, but then things have changed too much.
What if one of the justices was proved to be like, I guess not completely proved, but he's like, like a, I don't know, like a, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like what?
I tuned out. I'm sorry.
Like you find out he watches The Big Bang Theory or something.
Yeah,
Hey.
I mean, then what do you
Hey.
do? You can't vote him out.
How dare you?
He's there for life, buddy.
No, I just don't understand why so many people are so afraid of changing things up just even a little bit.
That's my main thing.
People are petrified of it but for what reason?
You know, I had this conversation the other day of how we need to have the internet be the government and just like
Internet government.
You have the chance to vote on everything.
Yeah.
Just imagine all the trolls that would come out of their bridges if they had actual control over anything. Ugh.
Well, yeah. Then the 1% wouldn't have the power.
Yeah, it's totally insane, and it sounds insane. It's like, oh, just vote on the internet. Yeah, somebody's gonna hack that, and it's like, yeah, because nobody's tampered with ballots before, guys. That's never happened.
No one's hacked the government before.
And by the way, those electronic voting machines, those were proven to be like wildly hackable. So it's like, if this already exists and it's going to happen no matter what, why don't you just give it a trial run and see what happens?
And you're the government. What you do is you hire the best hackers, the ones that have already been like screwing with all your shit.
Kevin Mitnick types.
Have them build the voting system.
I feel like a hacker could be trustworthy, very trustworthy.
Well, you know,
What's
so
your
many,
choice
so many
anymore?
jobs in the Pentagon and whatnot that they hire hackers. Like, well, you know,
It's
all
like
these
either you
internet
serve
companies.
a prison term or you work for us.
Or you
the rest of
hack
your
for the
life.
government.
I don't
That's-
know that happens
that's
that much
sweet, though.
anymore, but that was a real thing. Like Kevin Mitnick, he worked for the government for like 6 years in lieu of. He wasn't even sentenced when he first went to prison for all the stuff he did. You
Was
know
he the
Kevin
first
Mitnick,
one?
right?
Did he like hack the federal government or something?
Well, he's the most famous hacker of all time, as far as I know.
What about Julian Assange?
Well, no, he's not a hacker. He's just
He's got to have a hacker under his sleeve, though.
no.
How else did he get all that
No, what he
information?
does is his site, which is WikiLeaks.
Lemmy Wings.
WikiLeaks.
No, what he does is he opens the gate for these hackers to post stuff onto his or to send stuff to his site, and then he decides to post it. And it's just crazy, like government documents, whatever. But
Right.
no, he's not. Right now, the most famous is an Anonymous and Lulzsec. They're the most famous right now. That being said, Kevin Mitnick back in the day was the most famous hacker because he was crazy. I read his. He's got 2 books: The Art of Intrusion and The Art of Inception.
The art of.
Yeah, that must be it.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about those movies?
No, that's why it kind of threw me off. But no, but what he did, he hacked Symantec, which is a antivirus like
Oh,
online
right.
company.
Yeah.
He hacked them and they had to scrap their source code because he just did it as like a joke.
Yeah.
But they scrapped their source code because he obviously knew how to get through it because he saw their source code. So that cost like millions and millions. And at that time, they didn't know how to. They still don't know how to prosecute somebody for internet crimes. Like it's totally insane right now. Even if you look at like music. It's totally in music and movie downloads. They're just like, "Whoa, you downloaded 3 movies? That's 5 years." It's like, what?
Yeah,
That
that'll
doesn't make
be
any sense.
$350,000, please.
Right. Let's see if the legislation can keep up with the technology. If we get some smart, effective legislation for these new frontiers, who knows, right, Ben?
I mean, it's like that saying that came out after Michael Jackson died. You would get more time for downloading a Michael Jackson album than the doctor did for
Yeah, for
the
like,
doctor got
accidentally
for,
killing him.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Intentionally. Did he intentionally kill him, or
No,
was
he
it an
didn't
accident?
intentionally. No, the amount of drugs that Michael Jackson was taking at the time of his death, they said was like so absurd. It was just like I don't know, what was it, like Ambien on steroids? It was like a horse tranquilizer, whatever he was taking. It was so insane, the dosage that he was taking, that it would probably instantly kill a normal person, but he needed it to go to sleep at night, or at least that's what he
Well,
wanted
all the
to
horrible
do.
things he's done in his life, he probably needs some way to fall asleep.
What are you talking about? His relations with little boys?
His relations with the whole world.
You know what? You
Sorry,
gotta
I'm taking pictures.
even if you hate the guy, like he had a pretty cool zoo at his house. You know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I bet it was a real zoo at his house. I don't know what that means. You can make your own
Little
analogy
boys.
there.
Is it possible to separate the art from the artist, right? Because what goes into an artist may not be what you see in the art, right? Who knows?
Did he have songs about raping little boys? Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
Well, that's really what Thriller was about.
Driller. Cause it's a driller, driller night. Any callers want to call in? Oh, how many viewers do we have, by the way? Can someone give me an update?
I don't know. I can't tell right now. Just a quickly finish with Mitnick. He was on the run. Sorry.
Yeah, we go on tangents.
He was on the run for 3 years.
One viewer.
He was one of the most wanted people in America. He went to a new city like monthly. He would instantly hack their phone line so he could get internet. He would forge IDs, stuff like that. He worked for 3 years, then got caught, and they had him in solitary confinement for, I don't know if this is exactly true, but for something like a year or something like that before he was even totally prosecuted, because they were so afraid of this dude that they thought that if he whistled into a telephone, he could launch a nuke. That's like his story.
That is. I mean, it sounds very sensationalized, but doesn't mean it's not true. This world is a crazy place.
That is a quote from somebody that
Yeah.
I may have sensationalized.
Well,
a
no,
little
I'm not
bit,
saying you did, but if
uh,
that's the story. You know what I mean?
well,
The
they
story.
they didn't know what to do. How do you prosecute
Right.
somebody that didn't steal any files? They just looked at them like,
Yeah.
you know, internet files.
Yeah.
That's still an issue now. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
And the
got to be a law.
I mean, it's so stupid. You get.
Well, he helped write that law, though. I mean, really.
Yeah, he worked for the government.
He wrote the legislation, I'm sure, just by doing what he did. You know what I mean? His actions spoke louder than words.
It's true.
Because really, all the rules are just little ink blobs on a shaved tree. You know what I mean? When you really look at it from an objective point of view. Really?
There's some rules that seem to just be like human nature
Sure.
rules.
Sure.
That were probably not tolerated even before.
Is that
Human
conditioning,
nature,
though?
Objectivity. Maybe that's a myth in somebody's planet. I don't know.
I think like in a different country, our rules may not be their rules, and that you can't say that's. I mean, that's human nature. The fact that you can be conditioned to any type of.
He's talking about like relativism. Like it depends on what region or what locale, if whatever
I
culture
think so.
they have, it's
Yeah.
okay for them.
Well, no, yeah, I mean they have different rules and standards. You
Yeah,
know,
that's,
like
that's one way about it, but you can just justify any local customs you want. So maybe that's, for me, wouldn't be the best explanation. But
So would you say human nature then is What would you say human nature is then?
Well, there's been many ideas on human nature. We're all born a blank slate. Can we build up through education and all that stuff? Or is human nature, we're coming to understand about genes, how determined are we by that? I think human nature it just is amounts to whatever condition the person is in at the time that you're looking at. That's the nature, that's the condition.
Do you believe nature versus over nurture, or is it the other way around? That's how it goes, right? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know if I understand that question anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think nurture is part of nature, even if it is from people, and I don't know.
So I agree with you. I think nature is the hierarchical superior to
You got
nature.
there. Good job.
Is that I'm trying to expand my vocabulary.
Hierarchical.
Is
that right? Just say hierarchy.
It's the hierarchical superior.
Yeah, how do you say that word?
Is that a real
It's
word?
got to be hierarchical.
Higher?
I think that's what it is.
Higher?
Hierarchical.
If there's any viewers out there who can confirm if this is an actual word or not.
Yeah,
even
don't
in this-
deny. Don't call in if you're going to deny, please. Only confirm.
I think that means we're right. I think that means that.
Yeah, that was. I fed it into the supercomputer, and it just
And that's
came
how
back
you know.
with results.
by two means yes.
Otherwise, it would have been a more harsh sound, like a red X might make.
Yeah.
I think the conversation, though, of nature versus nurture is an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure. You can talk about it for hours.
And we intend to.
It really boils down to how much you know about it. You know, everyone has their opinion.
Well,
but
I feel
what
like
are the facts?
I feel like the right answer is supposed to be that
Sorry, he just took a dick in the throat.
that nature overpowers nurture. But I don't know that I can necessarily agree with that, because you can really, I mean, somebody's, big ball of Play-Doh when they're born, and over the, first years of their lives, you mold them into something, and they can, they aren't fired in the kiln yet.
Right.
But
Well, that's the thing. But they're not just shaped by whoever raises them. They're
they're also shaped by gravity.
Some people are shaped by the way that they're raised, but it's also like friends are like a chaotic energy that if there's like a hexagram chart of a person and different characteristics going around it, friends are definitely an influence. So are just whatever, you know.
Sure. I think maybe it's 60% nature, 40% nurture.
Yeah,
That's what a person amounts to.
Yeah,
But I think
Sounds about right.
Yeah, because things aren't just black and white.
So
you know?
why do you choose nature over nurture overall?
Nature?
Just because
Yeah.
I guess it's
Way stronger.
It's
It's
the
like
chaotic energy that
Is it really?
It's gotta be, man.
That surrounds us by.
It's your, like,
I'm not even
genetic
I'm not even
DNA.
in nature for like 99% of my days now.
You're part of nature. You are nature. You're a walking around piece of nature.
That's a very good point there. I suppose, how are we using the word nature here? I suppose.
For me, nature equals you could say God if you wanted to give it that kind of the universe. I feel like the universe has kind of taken the place of like believing in God for I guess it's always been that
I
way.
believe in the universe, man.
Right,
It's
people-
like, you're saying the same thing.
What are you doing? Did you just shit into the microphone?
He's seasoning the microphone.
What if everyone does that? What if people do that? What if people fart into the headphones?
I fart into the headphones before we leave every week. I thought everyone did.
It's tradition at this point.
Well, I guess my voice is no better than farting into the microphone. I'm sure my breath smells just as good.
This show's not much different
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
But remember,
Are you
farting
calling
into
this
a
show
microphone.
verbal diarrhea? Or just
Verbal
pass
flatulence.
gas?
proverbial
Verbal flatulence, yeah.
Verbal pass gas?
proverbial diarrhea. When's the last time you had diarrhea cup? Like a real like more than one in the same day.
I'd like to say daily. I think that's what it's down to.
I actually knew someone. I'm gonna keep his name anonymous, but who had diarrhea every day, or else some anal leakage, and it wasn't me.
What was
It
he,
is me.
What was he eating?
a lot
Garbage. It had to be garbage.
It was mostly drinking a lot of Vault sodas. You guys remember
yeah,
Vault? Is that still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Volt was just Surge.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
confident,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's the
Does
same
everyone accept
exact
that? It is?
recipe. I know
I also thought it was
somebody.
just a hunch.
No, listen. I know somebody that was so obsessed with Surge that when Vault came out, they compared the ingredient list. And
gonna try
it
to get
is
that guy on camera.
it's exactly the same.
Yeah, no, I'm sure the formula, the molecular structure that is Vault,
Well, it had to come
also
back.
Surge.
It was a great soda, but I hate to remember Surge because everybody fucking remembers Surge.
And it was awesome,
Well,
man. It was.
It was awesome.
I don't think my grandma would remember Surge.
I think it's fine to take a
Why?
second
She's
and
been through it.
appreciate Surge.
She's been through it, but it's not an important detail.
No, it's not to her.
You
She
know-
didn't drink any Surge.
What is an important detail in my grandma's memory, though, is City Dan. Old City Dan.
Oh yeah, I heard about City Dan.
She always tells the stories of City Dan and how he was a old man, but a hardworking man, and he liked to drink, I guess, and he would get drunk, and they'd have to drive him home. Don't you wish they did that these days? Drive you home?
You know, oh totally. You know what I
Our
love
service.
about that story more? Yeah, our service would be amazing.
We're gonna start up a business that kind of does that, but more on that later.
Yeah.
Trademarked already.
Believe us, we trademarked it.
We've got the capital.
I swear to God, we trademarked it.
We've got the bankroll. This podcast is actually helping us get the bankroll, and you can help us achieve a business ownership
Yeah,
if you
just
donate to the
donate.
show. We're gonna have the website up. in a
We'll take
few
cash. We'll take
weeks.
charge. We'll checks.
Soon accepting PayPal,
PayPal
as well.
Yeah,
Do you know
PayPal.
what? Groceries too are pretty cool. Like even if you get us some coffee and
We could always
like
use coffee.
eggs and we need other things
Beans.
like
Ben needs black beans.
yeah, I need black beans.
Well, if we're making a list, I mean, yeah, I'll take some turkey too.
Add
Couple
relics of
pounds
the
of turkey.
Sahara. You need that.
Relics of Sahara. If anyone has any relics of the Sahara, please call in. We'll give you our PO box. PO box coming soon.
Coffee. I'm sorry. A coffee creamer, French vanilla coffee mate. That's a really good one.
No one wants to listen to what your groceries are, Ben. Save your grocery list for the grocery
Oh,
store.
but about your grandma though,
Yeah.
like the way that they handled a drunkard back in the day, the way that it was explained through you to me from your grandma. So
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of parties that went
it's-
through it.
it's
But,
folklore.
But it's the general consensus of that kind of behavior was old City Dan was like, fuck you, I want to stab you with a, whatever. He could have said whatever
how
he
she
wanted.
tells it.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is he could have said whatever he wanted, threatened to fight, and they're just like, oh, that's old City Dan.
Yeah.
We'll just have the local sheriff pick him up
Yeah.
and drop him off at home.
Right.
And it's just like the way that, now it's like, oh, he's
he was. Take
He's
your mic
risking
off.
public intoxication.
Yeah.
He could get in trouble.
No, it's funny because I think people were way more wasted, like way more belligerent back
Oh,
then.
for sure.
Because there wasn't as
Can you
much.
imagine going to a speakeasy? That would have been amazing.
I couldn't fit in there. I'm too conditioned to
Whatever.
being like a.
Dude, we would have been going to speakeasies.
yeah, but if I were to
lived in
time
that
travel
time.
now and go back to 1930,
Well, they'd be like long hair.
alive.
He's a woman.
Yeah, well, I get that a lot actually. I can't tell you how many times people mistake me for a woman. It's pretty funny.
Did they grab your ass or slap it or anything?
Well, it's usually they're putting their hands in my ass hole and they think it's a vagina because it's like
Oh, do you tell them it's
Moist.
the wrong hole, or do you
Well-
just wait till you're finished
wait-
coming out your ass?
I wait till they get at least half a forearm deep until I tell them whoa, dude, or girl. It's been a girl.
It's
too.
gonna start to hurt in about 45 more inches.
45. No, I do accept feet in the butt though. I will accept a foot.
How many
I-
toes? Just the big guy?
I've only gone 5 so far.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You need to find that right lady with 6 toes.
Well, the right lady's gonna be the one who can just kind of put me on like a pair of pants, and then put me in her, or I put her in my entire body, that kind of thing. I think that's how you achieve enlightenment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've heard before that that's exactly verbatim the way that you achieve enlightenment.
I think it's Satori enlightenment according to Buddhist philosophy. That was called Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it actually happens. But I feel like me being able to think of that, some sort of enlightenment. No. Visions.
Yeah,
Of,
I mean, what kind of
It's not-
encouragement do you need? Yeah, you're
No.
enlightened. You're
No.
a great guy. You're
No.
wonderful. Your eyes are really, really nice. They're really nice to me personally.
All right. All right.
That was an accident.
I think we need to switch gears here. We're diving deep into darkness. Diving deep into darkness. Mr. Aaron Cup Rodriguez is the guest this evening.
Hello.
We are lucky to have him. If you're just joining us, he's a comedian, actor, poet,
Climber of mountains
Lit-
and viewer of valleys.
literary savant. So any works in progress right now? Any projects that you're doing, promoting?
Let's see here. Well, yeah, there's the ready-made ideas, and then there's ideas that haven't formed yet.
Okay.
A lot of words, a lot of sentences,
Or are you
put 'em together.
any books coming out soon? I know you've published a couple.
I've given my words away free. Nothing was set in ink. I don't think.
No, when I read your first book, The Struggle of Man and Reason, published by the Delaware Clearinghouse.
Sure.
I was really intrigued, and I think there was one part of your book that we discussed that it talks about whether or not people have free will. I believe you were arguing that free will is not. In fact, we do not possess free will.
Well, let's see here. That is correct. I thank you for reading that very difficult to write book.
It was very well written. I honestly, I don't read too many books, and don't take that the wrong way, but that one blew me away.
However, this conception of free will that you have, what you needed to know, was not actually included in the book.
Oh, really? So, was that in the
cut.
revision, or was that in their second book?
It was too valid. It was too correct
Okay.
to be put in sentence.
So did the editor of the book, was there an editor, or did you re-edit it yourself? I don't know how the book industry works.
Yeah, generally, many editors will. Anyone from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's just a line at the back door, and you just take your turn and you edit, and that's how the process works.
So it's kind of like an in and out process. It's like you go to the editor, you pay him
As many
fee.
hands on the table as possible.
Really? So it's like a whole panel of editors, or is it just one editor?
We all credit one editor.
Okay.
We do. It's anonymous editor.
Right. Oh, I see.
Indeed.
Do editors have names like you know how some poets or not poets, some literary figures kind of invent an alias for themselves, much like how we call you Cup,
The literary alias Cup.
a book by Cup,
I love it. That's awesome.
Cup stories. No, do you think editors do that same thing? Do you think editors?
They can be both.
Do you think they consider themselves like better than writers, editors? Like they're like, I'm gonna edit what the fuck you're writing to make it make sense.
I think.
I've heard once that editors were failed writers.
Failed writers. So
I don't know if that's
it's a
true.
necessary
But
part of writing. So you
think
know.
so? You don't
yeah.
think that the writer himself, him or herself, has the most correct vision or the correct wordage for their books?
Well, let's say, what about a misspelling? There are many authors who have had misspellings in their works.
You know what? I think
That's
misspellings.
one necessary component of having an editor.
What if misspellings are a part of your cadence
yeah, what if you don't give a shit if a word's spelled wrong once in a while?
or said wrong?
Yeah, as long as it's completely obvious what you were talking about, I don't think it slows me down.
Well,
you
how
know?
about this? Maybe misspelling is one thing. You can use that depending on which region. You might not have your standard English. However, punctuation, it will always be the case. And if you screw the punctuation up,
Yeah.
you screw up the meaning of the sentence. So,
But what if your intention is to what you're trying to convey is all one sentence, no punctuation? So you wrote a 500-page book that was all one sentence.
sure.
I love it. That would be, there's no capital
Which
letters
you
either.
actually did in your second book, called "The Run On" by a book by Cup. I thought that was a very clever move you did too.
Surprisingly easy to write.
Yeah.
Lots of commas. Commas are most people's friends.
A bit of controversy though that it was only one sentence. I claim to think that it's a full book, but some people only call it a sentence, and that a sentence is not a book. Any elaboration on that?
I think a sentence really speaks to every person that I've met, their conception of free will. To get back to that ham,
Yeah.
we need to wax that and stick it to the oven before it gets spoiled.
Yeah, I like my ham to be a little like caramelized, like a golden color, on the outside, nice and pink in the middle.
So I imagine a free will is not something that we can, let's see, wake up and decide to use one day. It's more like the structure that creates, I guess holds meaning in place, like a sentence. Sentences made by everybody have to conform to certain things. It's just like every person has to conform to the conditions around them. So, I don't know if free will is punctuation friendly. I don't know. I feel like it should be overturned just by the power of a period. I'm waiting for the right writer to
The power of the period is a strong one.
Yeah.
Trust me. All you guys with some ladies out there, I know you can agree. See how I completely make what intelligent thing you were talking about completely unintelligent.
I appreciate your metaphor. That, my friend, is cunning at its most cunning.
When I speak to you, do I just sound like this?
Oh no, not at all. Your words interest me. It's like jumping on floating lily pads there, and then your face just appears at the stem.
Yeah.
It's a smile. It's every time I hop from one to another. Every word.
When you jump on my lily pad and you look into the reflection of the pond, do you see my reflection?
I see your nightmares in the pond. That's true.
I haven't had a good nightmare in a while. Anyone? You guys have any real nightmares lately?
Not recently, no.
Yeah. No, I did. And this kind of happens from time to time. I have dreams where I feel very claustrophobic.
Yeah, I've had dreams like that before too.
Yeah.
You're kind of like crawling through something.
Something like that. Or the last one I had recently was I was just sitting in this like really like plush like room, but it was this tiny little room that there was like a bigger room on the outside, and this is something like I had some kind of trauma when I was being born. Anyway, it was this really tight room, really like full of like stuffed like pillows kind of, and it just drove me nuts. Like I wanted to get out of there, but I was trying to keep my calm. Like I wasn't too tried to not to freak out. That shit's, I don't know. What's up with claustrophobia dreams?
I watched this doc on dreams, and there was this guy that had, I don't know if it was a guy that had a theory or whatever, but it was like a theory that the purpose of dreams is like an evolutionary purpose.
Really?
Because they say that the dreams people have are like consistent across cultures, just with like different variables.
Really?
And they said that the idea was that it's like virtual training for if a situation happens. So
if you were in like a fight or flight situation,
yeah, exactly. They say it trains because if suddenly you're being chased, you don't completely freak out because everyone's been chased in a dream at some point.
Well, yeah, I guess. I can't remember the last dream.
See,
I
that's where nature takes over.
I think that's your DNA going to work. That's your code.
That's nature superseding nurture.
Well, I don't know that it supersedes it though, because if you have like an upbringing that your parents are totally overbearing and they do this and that for you, I really think that's where like overwhelming stress and depression comes from. Even though we're in like the most relaxed society, like the most successful, relaxed, like you could feed yourself for so cheap right now. You just go to McDonald's, like whatever. You have nothing to worry about. Everybody has cable.
Right.
Almost everybody's got internet. Everybody's got air conditioning. Blah blah blah.
It's a very good point because we live in a world where our problem, we're not hungry.
Yeah, that's what it is. We're not hungry anymore. To quote like Rocky 3. To quote Mick in Rocky 3.
Like physically and metaphorically. You know what I mean? Like in other countries where let's say they are figuratively hungry as well as literally hungry.
Yeah.
they're not worried about like, oh God, I have to pay the cable bill, and then they got rent,
But
and then
it's legitimate. Like I don't want to talk about it like it's like, oh, like we shouldn't have any problems. Like you legitimately, because of our society, I think it's because it's so stress based. It's always about money, and in other
Right.
Cultures, like, well, you
about-
grow your own crops.
Yeah,
and
it's
you do
about
this.
just, like,
You need
survival.
money if you want to get like something extravagant.
yeah. Well,
but-
money, even in those countries has a grip on like
Yeah, but
society.
I feel like here it's definitely more so than almost anywhere else because nobody wants to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
So everything just costs money.
Well, that's the thing is that the wealth is.
You know, machines will take care of everything, and you just pay money to
Right.
do whatever you want.
Well, yeah. I mean, in this country at least, or whatever, this kind of society, wealth is distributed enough so that like mostly everyone has some kind of money to spend and to like
I mean,
like,
out
pay
here
things
for
for.
sure,
Yeah.
everybody has enough money to do whatever.
to live like this kind of life,
Well, there may be some few unfortunate individuals out there, but I agree with
Right,
the idea
right.
that in this part of the world, the majority have access to, goods and services that
Right.
are considered best in history. Like,
Yeah.
how much would a working toilet be worth, in year 500? Only kings could afford, but
Yeah.
everyone nowadays has access to, or for the
king's-
most part.
The king's
Define
throne.
working for a king's toilet, because you remember those books
goes
with
into
the
Yeah, oh.
transparent pages?
Yeah, dude.
You remember the one where the bathroom or the king's chamber, whatever, his shitter led down to like a little shittery.
Yeah.
And like
There was like a
just like a
slave,
little
like,
dude down
like-
there like shoveling poop.
Yeah.
That's just his job. He's shoveling poop.
We're about to take this call real quick. I do remember those books though. Those books were awesome.
Yeah. What was it called?
I don't know. I have no idea. Caller, you are on the air. Dead Air Radio.
Hi there. I'm actually
Hey,
calling
Lee.
for Mr. Cup.
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
Hello?
Yes.
You're on.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear you guys. Mr. Cup, can you briefly describe your heritage? And I know that one time in the past, over a conversation, over a bowl of marijuana, you discussed how your rib cage is longer.
Whoa, caller. Oh, this is a family show. We do not discuss such topics like that. All right. Anyway, getting back to your question.
I believe what our gentleman caller, if you will, was getting at was the idea that people's bodies evolve according to whatever conflicts that they're faced. Like,
Nature.
for instance, this nature idea. If your ancestors were busy, trying to poke each other in the stomachs, with pointy things, you'd imagine over time it would only be an advantage to develop, let's say, a more extended rib cage.
Right.
And I'm not saying I've had extensive research done on my body or anything.
Your
like
heritage.
that. But I've had opinions that say, my rib cage, runs a little lower because, I've had more than a few ancestors that really got into trying to poke each other in the stomach.
With arrows, maybe.
Yeah, so that would be more of an Indian type, and but it's Mexican. If you imagine what Mexican people are as North American Indian type. European, I'm sure, as everyone here can shout out to.
A little splash of that. mostly European. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You don't have any other questions?
Actually, back to what you guys earlier were mentioning a few old shows like Wings and Northern Exposure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dow,
Wings,
you wouldn't bring
Wings
that up.
was like the worst thing known to man when it would come on
I
as a
watched
child.
it like 2
that
years
meant it's
ago.
bedtime.
I watched that show. Like, I watched the first 2. I don't know how many seasons it was, but I feel like I watched 2 seasons with one of my cousins, and I mean, honestly, the show was hilarious to me for certain reasons. Like, it was just so bad, and I was in a state of mind that was wonderful for watching a show like Wings.
Immature? Would you say you were immature?
Yeah, I mean, I was mature.
How old were you when you watched it?
2 years ago, I watched it.
You watched Wings 2 years ago.
Yeah, with
I did not know that about you.
cousin.
Oh man, I
No,
watched Wings as a
it wasn't
child.
my choice.
Why
It
didn't
wasn't
you
my
tell me?
choice.
Why didn't you tell me?
Right.
But yeah, and then Northern Exposure. The only good thing Northern Exposure produced was that incredibly catchy theme music.
Can you recite it for
Yeah,
us?
do it. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't do it. There's
hey,
no words.
Hey, you have to sing it now.
Hum it.
Just do it. No one.
Is that the Ice Cream Man song?
That sounded nothing like it.
It was pretty good though. That was some good dead air, for sure.
Oh hell yeah!
I can hear.
I'm hearing the delay of the radio and me on the phone right now.
So did I. How delayed is it?
At least 10, 15 seconds for me.
That's weird because we're talking, but then it gets delayed on the internet. Like he can hear us without being delayed. That's crazy.
Yeah, turn down your TV/computer.
Yeah, we don't want to be
Channel
hearing.
guy.
Quit throwing us off, man.
Well, I'm in the other room, so I don't hear it because it throws me off quite a bit.
Define the other.
But I will not hold up any more of your time. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I appreciate that insight. That's a great story about heritage, and I love it.
Yes, Mr.
And
Dow, and
I'll
be safe
I'll
and
see you
only do
gentlemen very
legal
soon.
things.
Cup, I think you're a natural on the radio, by the way. So I hope to have you on again very soon.
Flattering.
Hey,
very
man, this
flattering.
isn't
I'll
your
send
show.
you a little bio, and we can discuss, the healthy lifestyles.
Hang up on him.
Absolutely. Good night, gentlemen.
Listen, man, this is our show. You don't tell us what we're gonna have on our show. Let's get one thing straight.
I think that was a little verbal faux pas by Mr. Lee.
What did he say? I wasn't paying attention.
said-
Just kidding, Leah.
I
Love
was
you.
writing
Hope
something down.
we have you on again or something like that. What did he say?
It was. Yeah, he said that pretty much.
That
which
was
I don't
that was
think,
cute, Lee.
Honestly,
That
I
was
don't think
cute.
we're ever really gonna do. But I guess there's a first and last time for everything. So just kidding, man. We love you. We love you here. Hope you're having fun. We're enjoying you. We're enjoying your company. I think you've shed some awesome light on many subjects that are quite appropriate for the show's brand, if you will. We like to brand ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a privilege and an honor, sir.
We're gonna cut to a little bit more music. Who do we got lined up?
Let's do the celebrated Working Man because we pretty much only have those two CDs.
Celebrated Working Man, awesome band. Just want to give another shout out to Icarus Down. They're playing Summerfest this summer fest, headlining on a stage, and that's pretty awesome for a local band. So we got to give our props.
Yeah, I mean, we gave them their start, right?
Yeah. But I want to plug that again. Go check them out. This is Celebrated Working Man.
We're awesome.
Yes, we've been here before. Yes, we've been bad and we've been had, unbought, not bored. It's not the first, nor will it be the last time the world has gone.
Oh, this song's 7 minutes long.
Will you hold fast? Since having already committed the crime, I'm feeling reckless, having punishment condone. But there's much to slip between my tongue and wrists, my tongue and wrists. And there's no one near to catch my fist. Oh no!
back, ladies and gentlemen. That was The Celebrated Working Man. Terrific song. Beautiful, really. I mean, I listen to their songs a lot when I am in my most relaxed state possible. Usually before I am just drifting off into sleepy land and their dreams inspire some vivid imagery.
Oh, yeah?
I find myself in their music. I don't know
How
about
about
you guys.
Pillow Nightmares? Do they
Never with
allude
them.
to that at all?
No, I've said I haven't had a nightmare in months, and it's because of that band. They lull me into the sweetest dreams, into the ether of just pure ecstasy.
See, I have nightly mares.
Nightly mares.
Any symbols or any harrowing moments from those nightly mares you wish to share?
No, I'm just terrified of everything on Earth, I think.
There's no reason not to be scared of everything.
I've had some terrifying dreams where I'm making love to a beautiful woman.
Oh my God! How do you sleep at night?
Horrifying.
I tell you, I had recurring dreams like that, and
Oh, jeez.
I just for a long I couldn't even sleep. Just thinking about that. I was up all night, just touching myself in horror.
Which places? I'm just curious, for
Which places?
radio reasons.
As in physical locations or body parts.
Bodily locations.
Well, it's funny. It's usually in it's my pants. I'm in my pants,
Yeah.
But it's
under,
yeah, but it's also only in your room when you're gone during the day.
Oh, so you leave me those surprises on my bed sheet that they're like light streaks on my bedspread.
Visible with black lights, very visible.
No, they're visible in regular light too. They're just like huge, like I don't know, whitish spots, like splotches, I guess you could call them.
You could call them that, but if you looked at your room in a black light, you wouldn't be able to tell anything because it's completely covered.
Would I be blinded by the light?
Your room would just look 10 times brighter than normal because every square inch is covered with several coats. But yeah, I mean, you think I'm going to work in the morning, but I just hide out in the bushes across the street and wait for you to leave, and then I.
No, I mean
go back
that's
in.
more reason for me to spend more time in my bedroom, smelling my bedspread.
Kind of like when
I don't do that enough.
It's kind of like when we let the cat on the balcony and it rolls around.
Yeah.
Is that what you do in your room, with all just the?
I never knew why I did it, but I had some sort of instinctual reason to roll around and just rub my face and my nose in particular into my bedspread.
That's some potent imagery there, just stretching out and climbing inch by inch with your wrists, right? That's how the cats do it.
Yeah.
And then Benny goes like. That was more of a visual joke. You guys had to be here to see it.
What were you doing? Licking ice cream?
No, what cats do with they lick their paws and they rub it on their face. And I don't know if you observe
cats also
the behavior of a
lick
cat.
themselves in their nether regions, and it's really inappropriate and awkward when they're sitting on your lap.
Oh, Ben, you would care to elaborate? How did you feel about that? Well, actually, we should ask our guest. He's a fellow cat owner, I believe. I'm correct in that statement, right?
I appreciate cats. Maybe not so much in those moments when they sit on your lap and conduct their cleansings.
They sit pussy first.
That is more of a plus. I wouldn't say that was part of the bad experience of cat ownership.
Yeah. No. What really grinds my gears, if you will, is every time I'm going to make some knuckle children, my cat just sits right on my desk. I'm on the computer, it's ready to go, right? And then there she goes, pops right there, and she's just staring at me.
She gives you the old "I know what you're doing" look.
Yeah, but then it's she wants some, and sometimes I have to give it to her, and then,
Anything to make her purr.
Make her purr.
Very dedicated cat enthusiast, I'd say you are, sir.
I am. I've explored every aspect of a cat. Learned a lot. I don't do anything sexual with my cat, but when I'm trying.
Well, he does, but
when I'm trying
for the
to do
sake of this radio show, he doesn't.
All I'm saying is that sometimes when I'm trying to do something sexual, my cat likes to get like watch. Not watch, but she comes like she like will come sit on the desk or something, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and
This
it's
is
all
weird.
And then she presents. I mean,
No.
that cat
Ever.
she wants it.
No,
She wants the Andrew surprise or the.
there's no surprises there. There never has been, never will be. It's like, all right, see ya.
It's what we've all come to expect.
Fast
Yeah,
acting, tenactin'.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, nothing, no surprises. Well, at this point, I think we've reached a kind of black hole abyss.
Yeah, we got to the conclusion of our no conclusion conversations.
The illogical conclusion. Can't
You
say
got
that
there.
word.
Good for you. I mean, you made it.
Just
You did
want
it.
to give a few thank yous to River West Radio, River West Video, River West neighborhood located at 824 Center Street, East Center Street. They make this possible. They make this broadcast happen. So I want to thank them.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I want to thank my guest, Aaron Rodriguez, Aaron the Cup Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
It's been a pleasure. Good night, everyone. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We love you guys.
Thank you.